Hello, I'm former WWE Superstar Eugene, and this is the time that I joined Evolution. June 28, 2004 episode of Monday Night Raw coming to you from Richmond, Virginia, the Richmond Coliseum. Eugene was all over this TV, and it started out in the very first segment. Eugene gets called out to the ring by Evolution, Triple H leading the charge.
Eugene, I know you're back there watching. Why don't you come out to this ring so I can tell you what I gotta say face to face?
Triple H called Eugene out to talk about what happened the previous week when Chris Benoit came in, tried to hit Triple H with a chair. Triple H ducks and Eugene got waffled. Right in the head, right there. I got it right there with the steel chair. And I come out with the big bandage on my head and a smiley face on it. And this is where, this fact really isn't brought up very often, but Eugene was inducted into the Evolution as an honorary member. And it's not really talked about often that guys like Triple H and Ric Flair and Randy Orton and Batista were in Evolution, but also Eugene was. And this is the time when Triple H says, you know, Chris Benoit hits you with a chair.
I'm your friend, unlike Chris Benoit, who smashed you in the head last week with a steel chair.
But Eugene said, oh, Chris Benoit said he was sorry. That's when Triple H looked deep right into Eugene's eyes and he said something I'll never forget. He said, the guy who hit you with a chair, he's a real jerk.
Chris Benoit's nothing but a big jerk. Ooh.
Eugene freaks out like it's the F word just said on live TV, and that's right, he's the J word.
I said the J word. That's right, Eugene, I said it.
Which I thought was hilarious, and I'm trying not to laugh, trying to hold my composure as Eugene being meddled in a point where he looks up to Triple H, but yet Chris Benoit and William Regal are his friends, and Triple H is trying to manipulate him, telling him, you know, these guys aren't your friends. These guys don't have your best interests, you know, it's Evolution, it's Triple H that's your buddy. And whenever Triple H said, you know, Eugene's an honorary member of Evolution, Ric Flair and Batista, Orton, all of them looked back like he didn't know he was going to say that. Like, oh my gosh, what's this all about? You know, are you really going to let him into Evolution? What's going on here? Triple H goes on to tell Eugene that William Regal was only paid to manage you by Eric Bischoff. He was never really your friend. And at that point, right there in the ring, I mean, literally, I don't know where it came from, but I conjured up the emotions and tears came from my eyes. Because Eugene loved William Regal. And in the context of a character encased in Monday Night Raw in the middle of the ring, I mean, it was very emotional. You've got Triple H, who Eugene looked up to. That was his favorite wrestler. That was his hero. And then William Regal is his buddy, his mentor. He knows him. And he's told that he was just, you know, just used so William Regal could get back on the main roster. And the tears flowed down my eyes. Real tears. True tears of emotion right there in the middle of the ring. And it was a good moment. I mean, for me, it was an emotional moment, but for the fans, they knew exactly what was going on. Triple H was trying to manipulate Eugene into getting what he wanted. What's best for business for him, as they might say. So we're standing there in the middle of the ring. Eugene's crying, and Triple H puts down his foot. He says, hey, Eugene, it's either Evolution or it's William Regal.
You can go with William Regal, or you can stay here with your real, true friends at Evolution.
And at that point, Uncle Eric comes down, and a lot of times I think Eric's character would go from, I got to get Eugene out, Eugene's a disgrace, to wait a minute, he's family and I can't let him be treated like that. Bischoff was really kind of an advocate for Eugene, but at the same time, sometimes his character would say, he's a disgrace to the family, I want him out. And this was one time that I don't know if he was playing Eugene or if he was really serious, but Bischoff comes out and says, hey, Triple H, I won't let you treat Eugene like that.
I am not going to let you pressure my nephew like that.
And then Bischoff sets up a match between Triple H and William Regal with Eugene as the special guest referee.
Special guest referee, my nephew, Eugene. What?
Think about it right there. Triple H, William Regal, Eugene's hero, Eugene's mentor, with Eugene calling it right down the line as a referee. A few segments later on Monday Night Raw, there's a backstage segment. Ric Flair comes up to Triple H and he goes, hey, I don't know if you know what you're doing inviting Eugene to be an honorary member of Evolution. He might kill our gimmick.
You gonna bring Eugene into Evolution? My God, it'll kill our gimmick, brother.
And then I think it was a great line when Triple H come back. He goes, no. I'm pulling a play out of your playbook. The dirtiest player in the game.
You're the dirtiest player in the game. It's a page right out of your book. I learned this all from you.
Slowly letting the people know exactly what's going to happen. The foreshadowing. Triple H and Evolution are playing Eugene, but the only one that doesn't see it is Eugene. Imagine that. The match comes along, we're in the ring. Of course, Eugene's got his jacket on and I had the referee shirt over it. And let me tell you something, that was hot. The jacket was so hot, it was like I don't know what the material is, but I'm just sweating inside there, just sweating all over. I'm a sweater anyway, you know, I'm a guy that just sweats. Now, I've never been a referee before, but I gotta say, my duties as a referee, my job as a referee that night was on point. I could probably be classified as one of the best guest referees of all time right up there with, I don't know who, but I would be one of the best ever of all time. But I thought Eugene's role as referee was beautiful because Regal was throwing a lot of strikes that were legal, but when he pulled the hair, Eugene called it. And at the right time, Ric Flair gets up, Eugene goes there, and Flair throws Triple H the knucks.
Now listen to Nate. Nate will never lead you wrong. Wait a minute.
Triple H goes to use him, but Regal cuts him off, and he gets the knucks. And that's when Eugene turns around and sees William Regal with the brass knuckles in his hand and has to disqualify him.
Eugene sees the brass knucks, and there you go. Eugene calling for the bell.
And the next part of the match, I don't know where this emotion came through, but I knew what I had to do to make the moment, and I thought it was great. Eugene disqualifies Regal, and I turn around and I'm pouting, saying, you know, William Regal, you weren't supposed to cheat, you weren't supposed to do that, and like real true emotion, like I was really upset. You know, Eugene in the ring, I mean, I conjured up this emotion of just being truly upset. Triple H hits William Regal from behind, Regal bumps into me, I go down, Regal turns back around with the knucks, blasts Triple H, who knocks him out, and that's when Eugene starts to fire up, and I attack William Regal. And this is the only time that really there's ever any physicality between Eugene and William Regal. And I mean, I'm pelting him and he's defending himself, but I'm really throwing him in there. Bang, bang, bang. And the crowd's coming up. And then Ric Flair and Triple H try to get Eugene off William Regal. And I'm just going nuts and I'm banging my head. I mean, all this was on the fly, made up. Flair comes up, push me, I push him. He goes down. And then looking back now, I didn't realize this happened at the time, but Triple H starts petting Eugene's hair to calm him down. Triple H and Ric Flair eventually calm down Eugene and get him to the back. And there was some tension, some turmoil between Eugene and William Regal. And what was going to happen? How's it going to play out? Now, a little sidebar, a little behind the scenes. I wanted to have a smiley face on the bandage, but I really didn't trust my skills as an artiste. I'm not a very good artiste with a pen or a feather or paintbrush, finger paints. I don't know. So who did I go to? Of course, Jerry the King Lawler. King! One of my heroes. King! Please, would you put a little smiley face? And I know it was just a simple little drawing, but King was always overly nice, super cool. As most people know, I wrestled for USWA when I first started wrestling.
Nick Densmore, but I do know, I talked to Danny and found out this kid has a great amateur background.
And Jerry the King Lawler, the first check I ever got signed with Jerry the King Lawler. I've got a Xerox copy of it somewhere because I needed the $25 to get home, but how's this going to play out? How's our hero Eugene going to overcome this hero's journey against these almost unbeatable forces of evolution? Stay tuned to next time of Eugene Behind the Scenes when we talk about where the storyline's going and how it progressed. If you haven't seen my previous episodes detailing the evolution of the Eugene character, please feel free to check them out here.